Good morning, Starshines. Usually in my videos, I am talking about the things that I have made, the things that I am working on, the things that I have finished. But in today's video, I am really happy because I am getting to talk about all of you lovely people. I've said it before that this community is so wonderful. It's my favorite place on the internet to hang out. And I think we have some really amazingly talented, creative people in the community across a range of different crafts. The amount of knowledge and experience that I come across every day in the YouTube comments and in the Discord just always blows my mind. And that you guys want to spend so much time with us. So I thought it was time for a community showcase. This probably won't be the last community showcase because I had a lot of fun getting the projects together for this, and I think that it'll be a really great addition to the roster going forward. So what I did was I basically put out a call for submissions from people in the community to provide me with a project or two or three that they are super proud of. It could have been any kind of craft. We've got knitting, crochet, we've got screen printing, jewelry making. I even was talking to a few people who were like, I don't know what to submit. If you had a really cool manicure that you're really super proud of, that would have been really cool to see as well. So let's get started. For each of these people, they're in no particular order other than this is the order that they posted in the Discord. I'm going to try and give as much detail about each project as I can, and while I'm talking, I'm going to show you some pictures. So the first submission we had was from Wanna, who is part of the community, has been part of the community for a really long time, and I am sure I'm mispronouncing her name, but I'm doing my best. And this piece is incredible. I mean, obviously I love the color palette. It's very NB coded. That purple, gray, yellow or green palette, totally mine. This is the Artist Shawl by the designer Natasha Hornby, and it is actually done in Tunisian crochet. Wanna is a Tunisian crochet main, and the stuff she's created is just incredible. The one coming up next, you're not going to believe is crochet. But this shawl, she used Holst Super Soft, just over 400 grams, and you can see it's in a variety of colors. It was started February 7th, 2024 and finished July 13th. And it just looks incredible. She was posting progress pictures of this, and every time she posted, it looks so cool. I absolutely love this piece. She says that she does recommend this pattern, and that if you have never done a mosaic pattern before, it was very easy to follow. So I'm going to try and leave a link to the pattern in the description down below. I'm going to try and leave a link to all of the patterns that I mentioned, as well as all of the crafters. If they have socials, anything like that they wanted me to mention, they did leave that in their submission, and I will pass that information along to you. I told you that the next one coming up was absolutely stunning, and you can see that I was right. So this is another Tunisian crochet project by Wanna. It was made in October 2021. The yarn is Lotus Knits. It's a Tibetan cloud fingering. It's discontinued, but it's 100% yak, which sounds so luxurious. I would love to touch this shawl. It sounds very plush. The pattern is called Torque by Eva Nee. Apparently this designer is pretty famous for Tunisian crochet, which can be done with normal straight crochet hooks without a cable because of a short row technique that they use. And this was done on a 5.5 millimeter hook. Again, I think that this is just gorgeous. I think this would make a beautiful like wedding shawl or something like that. The drape that she got on this, like I always thought of Tunisian crochet as quite stiff, but Wanna has definitely opened my eyes to all the amazing things that you can do with it. So if you have not tried Tunisian crochet, I would recommend that you give it a shot. Either of these two patterns might be a good place for you to start. But I'm just blown away, and I'm really grateful that Wanna was able to share these with us. So our next submission comes from Polly. Polly is another person who has been in the community for quite a while now. She does a lot of knitting for her multitude of children, and we always love seeing what she's up to. So this project that she has submitted is the Penmanship Cowl by Joan Forgione for Paper Moon Knits. It is knit out of Freya hand knits in the colorway Hard Candy. It was started March 1st, 2021 and finished March 13th, 2021. She did extend the pattern to use as much of the ball as possible, and I totally see why. This colorway, I love it. Like, it's that bright neon rainbow. I definitely see the hard candy in it. So I'm really glad that Polly took full advantage of that. So again, I'm going to leave the link to the pattern down below. I really like this cowl. It's a pretty simple lace and cable pattern, but I think it worked out really, really well. And it works well with the striping on this yarn as well, because the pattern itself is slightly striped. The next community submissions are coming from someone who you've heard me mention their name several times before. However, I keep misspelling it. I don't know how I managed to keep misspelling it. They go by Potato Shoe. It's just the word potato and then the word shoe. I still managed to misspell it. So this is from Charles, who, again, I'm probably saying that wrong, but they've never corrected me. So this is from Charles / Potato Shoe, and this is stunning. I love this pattern. This is Mystic Mist by Anna Dalvey, and not only did Charles knit this, they also spun the yarn. So this was spun from Cordell wool, hand dyed by Three Waters Farm, in the color Into the Light, which just, spinning is so beyond my like realm of experience. I'm always blown away, and like to be able to spin fingering, oh my god. So Charles says that they spun it on their Electric Eel Wheel Nano 2 using a short forward draw. I hope you know what that means. In terms of knitting, they did extend the pattern slightly, since as written, it was a bit small for them. Which, like, the color's stunning. The fact that they managed to keep that gradient in the yarn while they were spinning, like, I don't know. I don't know how they did it, but it's a beautiful yarn, a beautiful finished product. This kind of lacy pie shawl, I used to make so many of those, and I love it. I love it. This is the next project that Cheryl shared with us, and this is actually a weaving project. So this is their Rainbow Blocks blanket. They wove it out of Knit Picks Dishy yarn. They don't remember exactly what colors they used, but it was a red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple, so a rainbow. So Knit Picks Dishy is a yarn. It's 100% cotton, and as far as I know, they do kind of market it as like an alternative to Bernat Handicrafter cotton, but it is quite a bit softer. It would be similar to the Hobie rainbow cotton. So I can imagine this blanket is very warm, very soft, and it looks so neat. So as far as the weaving details, Charles says that they wove it in 6 strips on their 25-inch shacked flip loom and then sewed it together. And like, I do not see the seams in this thing. So that's very impressive to me. I did not realize that it was sewn together. I thought it was kind of woven in one piece, which I don't know very much about weaving. That's what I said. The range of experience in our community is just amazing. The stuff that you guys are producing is amazing. Once again, I had so much fun putting this video together. All right, our next community member is Mushka. Mushka? I can't pronounce that very well. However, they also let me call them Misha. So I'm going to say Misha from now on. So the project that they chose to share with us today is the Pressed Flowers Shawl by Amy Christoffers. This is a shawl that I have seen before. Amy Christoffers has done an entire pressed flowers line. There's a cardigan, there's socks, I'm sure there's a pullover, I think there's a hat, I think there's a cowl. There's all kinds of garments and accessories using this pressed flowers motif. But I love the color combination that Misha used for this. So the yarn that they used, the light pink, is Lana Grossa Fado in the color Pastel Rosa. And then the beautiful multicolored yarn that is going with the pink was hand spun by Misha with fiber prepped and dyed by Wool Schaff in the color Nordlicht. So again, I'm so impressed by people who not only spin, but then turn their projects into amazing finished objects. Like, it's just amazing to me. You can tell I'm so blown away by that. If you want to check out any more of Misha's projects, you can find them as Mishka on Ravelry. I'm going to leave a link to them down below. But Misha just does some wonderful, wonderful, beautiful work. This pressed flowers shawl, I love the subtle multicolored effect of the yarn with the light pink. It's really beautiful. And the pressed flower shawl, because it's done, I believe, in mosaic, it gives you a heavier shawl than a typical lace shawl. So it just looks so comfy to like snuggle up in. And this would be a shawl that I would love to have in my own wardrobe. All right, we are moving on to Melde is her username in the server. She also goes by her name Amy or Moonfire0. So the first project that Melda has shared with us is this self-drafted bookworm. It's so cute. I love the goofy little eyes. I love the little antenna on it. So the bookworm it's basically weighted. So if you have a book flat in front of you, you would use the bookworm to hold the book open while you're reading it. Or if you were like cooking or something and you needed to hold the book open, the bookworm would do that. So I just think this is a really cute little project. It's a brilliant idea. They self-drafted the pattern. They used a sport weight yarn in a bunch of different colors, and they used BBs to weigh it down, and then little plastic eyes for the little and then little plastic beads for the eyes, which I love those eyes. I didn't catch them the first time I looked at this, but every time I see this project, they make me giggle. They're so silly. So Melda is a multi-crafter. That was a knitted bookworm, and the next project that they've shared with us is a crocheted succulent. They said that this is the Succulent Echeveria amigurumi by Michael Hahn, and I will leave the link to that below. It was done in a lace weight cotton yarn, so this thing is tiny, like physically tiny. You can't really see the scale in the picture, but using lace weight cotton for crochet, it's gonna be itty bitty. And Melda's notes on this was, it's not perfect, but I love it. Made for a friend at work. It might not be perfect, but I also love it. I do not see any imperfections here. It's so cute and so sweet. So you can find Melda on Ravelry as Moonfire0, and I'm going to leave a link to her down below as well. So the next community submission comes from Moonphased, and if you've watched any of my videos or my live streams, you're aware Moonphased is a great member of the community, was a founding member of the community, and was inducted into the cross-stitch cult just about a year ago, just over a year ago, by myself and Toot, and has really progressed on her cross-stitch journey since then, has made some incredible pieces, and is diving into a bunch of new techniques all of the time. and is just really, I'd say, has moved beyond adventurous beginner into true intermediate. The piece that she has chosen to share with us today is Gengar and Clefable. The pattern is from Okie Doodle Stitches on Etsy. I'm going to leave a link to it down below. This was 2/1 cross stitch, all of the called for DMC colors, on white DMC 14 count Aida. So this is a piece she stitched for a friend's birthday in fall 2023, and I remember her working on it, and it really didn't take her all that long considering how big of a piece it is. It is her biggest finish to this day, and it was her second piece ever. She said, go big or go home, right? She definitely went big with this one. You can see the scale of it. That's her holding it there, and then framed for the friend. So this piece is really cute. I think it turned out really, really well. For a beginner piece, it was an ambitious piece. There's a lot of stitches. It is a lot of big blocks of stitching, and I think Moon did a really great job in it. And of course, it's Gengar and Clefable. It's adorable. You can find Moon at twitch.tv/moonphased, and socials are _moonphased on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. I will leave links below to where you can find her. I am so happy that Charlie submitted something for the community showcase. Charlie is a great friend and a very active member of the community. So this is the first ever cabled beanie that they knitted. They started it on January 30th, 2023 and finished on April 4th, 2023. And they did leave a note that it is still unblocked, but hats, things with negative ease, you don't really need to block, so I think it's fine. They will get around to doing it eventually. So as you can see, it is a cabled beanie, and the pom-pom is actually attached with a button, so you can take the pom-pom on and off. The colored button is from Nikki the Creator on Instagram. I'm going to leave a link to them below, and apparently she also makes beautiful crochet hooks. The yarn used is Cascade 220 Aran in Green Apple, and the pattern is from Knitting for Baby. So I mean, of course, lime green and purple, this is DH core to the core. I love this hat. It's just a really simple classic beanie done really, really well. You can see how neat that cast on is, how neat the 1x1 rib is, and then just the cables leading up to the brim. It looks so plush, so squashy, and I think that the addition of the purple pom-pom is just a great touch, but also having it removable like that, brilliant. Next up, we have Gwenergy, who is the reigning queen of the Sals in the server. They are currently working on 3 different stitch-alongs, mystery stitch-alongs, and has just produced some beautiful, beautiful cross-stitch art that they have shared with us today. So this first piece is called Possum Song, and the pattern is by Mama Witch Cross Stitch. You can find Mama Witch on Etsy and Patreon, and I mean, I love Mama Witch patterns. I've probably talked about them before. I've done tons of them. Toot has done tons of them. Just the aesthetic is great. And I love that Gwen has joined the possum cult. This is the summer of the possum. Everybody's doing possums. And this piece, it's just so cute. The stitching is so neat. I love the really simple frame on it that Gwen did. And yeah, I think this piece is so cute. It was stitched on black 14 count Aida with all of the required DMC, and this was their second ever cross stitch piece. So same as we just saw with Moon, second ever cross stitch piece, this is also the second ever cross stitch piece, which is so impressive. Like Mama Witch, she does have small designs, but a design this size is not an easy first or second pattern, I would say, especially because of the back stitch, the color switches, trying to do it on black Aida. For a second piece, this is very, very impressive. And it was stitched in February to May of 2023. Now this next piece that Gwenergy shared with us, this is the piece that they were working on when we first met, and I think it looks so beautiful. So I've kind of seen this grow from just the water and a few trees into the finished piece that you see here. By the way, I think this finish is so cool, doing the hexagonal, yes, the hexagonal finish with the hexagonal frame that it's designed in. I think that's so smart, so clean, so crisp. But let's talk about the pattern. So this is Alpine by Satsuma Street. Satsuma Street is a designer that I've never actually worked on a pattern from, but I'm very, very curious about. I've got a couple from them in my on my radar, in my future queue, possibly. So this was stitched with all the called for DMC on 14 count Aida, and it was done from March to May 2024. So like I said, just very recent, and I kind of got to see it come together, which is very cool. They added a note. They would have picked a darker Aida to make the white stand out more, but overall they're very happy with it. This was made as an anniversary gift for their parents who love being in the mountains. I think this is a beautiful anniversary gift. This would be a beautiful gift to receive for anybody, really. So I'll leave a link to Satsuma Street down below, and I can't wait to see what Gwenergy stitches up next. So before I put up the next community submission, I am going to give a brief warning. If you are not a fan of snakes, please skip ahead about 2 minutes, because the next submission may put you off a little bit. Okay, now that everybody who doesn't like snakes is here, check this out. It's so cool. So this is from community member Hex and Hisses. I can't even. So this is a cyanotype print made using snake shed on watercolor paper. I don't know how you would do this. So I'm assuming that this is Gozer, who is Hex's beautiful ball python boy. And I think that the shed, the way that they've captured the shed is just so cool. Like, this is just a piece of art. Because like I've seen multiple snake sheds, and getting a full or almost full shed like this from a ball python is really difficult. And then the amount of care and attention it would have taken to smooth it out and get the head to such detail, it's so cool. Like, I would frame this and put it on my wall. I just think it's amazing. I'm not entirely sure what cyanotype printing is, but whatever it is, I think Hex did an amazing job here. And yeah, everybody say hi to Gozer. Hi, Gozer. All right, so we had that amazing cyanotype print. The next thing that Hex wanted to show us is some screen printing patches. So this was their own self-designed pattern. So they did all the art for it. These are screen printed on canvas fabric, and it says safety third with a raging fire and a fire extinguisher. And I have to admit, when I was going through, I was gathering all the pictures and I kind of put them in a file. And then when I was going to make my notes, I realized what it said and I cracked up. It's so good. I would love to have this on a t-shirt or a jacket or something. It's cool. I have done screen printing in the past, and it's quite labor intensive, really. So I think, and these screen prints turned out really good. It is difficult to get a really crisp screen print, and I think Hex just did an amazing job here. Their final submission for our community showcase, this is once again from Hex and Hisses, is 2 knitted softies that they made for a friend's newborn hatchling. So every friend of theirs that does hatch a small one gets a robot and a reptile friend. So the robot is named Boop, and the pattern is by Claire Doornbos on Ravelry. I will leave a link down below for that. I love this little robot. He's so angy, but he's also so floppity and like ready for cuddles. I love him. The alligator is named Niles, and the pattern is by Christy Benedict, also available on Ravelry. And again, I will leave the link down below. I mean, I love alligators, like, and I think that this alligator plushie, it's a good medium between realistic and adorable and cuddly for a kid. So I love them. And I think that, again, Hex just did an amazing job. Making softies look cute is really difficult. I've talked before about my own struggles with doing the little details, but on these guys, trying to get the mouth and the eyes on the robot correct and trying to get the eye placement on the alligator correct, that takes a level of skill that I just don't have. And I also think it's really cute that every time their friends have a kid, they get a robot and a reptile friend, because that's like something a little bit different. And also like a handmade gift and all that kind of stuff. So I thought this was really cute. So I did say that we had a bunch of different crafts. Hex showed us a couple different crafts there. We have yet another one here. Deontay Poet 2000 is a beautiful jewelry designer. They actually sell their own jewelry. All right, I'm going to cut this out of the video, but I just went to double check that Deontay sells her jewelry, and got distracted for about 15 minutes scrolling through her Instagram. So her personal Instagram is Deontay Poet 2000. If you want to check out her jewelry shop, it is DR Design Jewelry. I'm going to leave a link to both in the comments below, but definitely go check them out. If I wore earrings and stuff, I would be in trouble right now. And just a ton of cool things. So Deontay made this necklace. She calls it Steampunk Butterfly. It was designed by herself. It's made from acrylic beads, copper color wire, a filigree butterfly, and decorative gears from a jewelry store. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Like, again, I don't wear a lot of jewelry, but this kind of thing I absolutely love. It gives really strong, powerful vibes. And I love the colors. Like, honestly, go check out their Instagram, because it's, yeah, I got so distracted and I don't even wear jewelry. So I'm so glad that Deontay shared this with us. I cannot wait to see what they come up with next. I'm so happy that they found this community, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do next. So I discovered Deontay, or met Deontay, or drew them into the community through cross stitch, which is how I knew them. I didn't know about the jewelry at first, but she's been working on a bunch of stuff, but she just got a finish on this one. And by just, I mean, I think it was the last 24 hours of cross stitch, which was like 3 weeks ago. And this is Eagle by Light Unicorn Designs. This piece is massive. Like, Toot has made a Light Unicorn design, and it took her 3 months of constant work. Like, Toot only works on one thing at a time. So you can imagine doing like 1,000 stitches a day for 3 months on the same project. Light Unicorn designs are huge. They're a lot of detail. And I think that Deontay just did an amazing job on this one. So this is Eagle. It was made on 18 count Aida with all of the called for DMC. And I remember I was watching them put in the final stitches on the wingtips while we were hanging out on call. And it was just really cool. So I always love when I see something in process and then I get to see the finished object. So I think Deontay did an amazing job on this one. It's it looks beautiful. This is a stunning piece. This is definitely like a focal centerpiece. It deserves a place of honor, and I think that she did a great job. All right, so that is all of the community submissions that I have for you in this showcase. Thank you again to everyone who submitted a piece. I had so much fun doing this video, putting together all the pictures, collecting all your socials, getting all the details, finding out about all your different projects. It was so much fun. And I think that I'm definitely going to do a few more of these community showcases. It's a really great way to get introduced to different crafts and what you can do with different crafts. I mean, one is Tunisian crochet. Go back to the beginning of the video and watch that again if you have already forgotten what happened half an hour ago, because yeah, it makes me want to get into Tunisian crochet. It makes me want to try screen printing. It makes me want to try doing the cyanotype. That was so cool. So thank you to everyone who submitted. Thank you to everyone who is watching. If you would like to join the community, you can do so in several different ways. The first and best way, of course, is by subscribing to my YouTube channel and turning on all the notification bells so that you can get updated whenever I put out a new video. Second best way is joining our Discord, and the link to that is going to be in the description down below. The community over on Discord is so friendly, so active, and like I've said before, if you have a question about any project that you're working on, you just want a second opinion, or you're not sure about a technique, there's going to be someone in the community who has the answer and is willing to help. So I think that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Right about now, you should be seeing some buttons popping up. Please check them out. If you hit that one, you'll subscribe to the video. And if you hit one of these, you'll go to another one of my crafting videos. And I genuinely, honestly, cannot wait to see what you guys make next. All right, thanks guys. Bye.